Dark skin girls, they always saying that you're pretty for a dark skin, yeah. You're pretty for a dark skin. Dark skin girls, they always saying that you're pretty for a dark skin, yeah. You're pretty for a dark skin.
So hey guys, so today we have another video, and today's video is a little different. I would just like to sit down and just talk to you about the way I've been feeling. It's not really feeling, but like it's been on my mind to speak lately. Now I went back and forth on if I should speak on it because, you know, it's not something that like I like to talk about, like, you know, but sometimes you have to share what you've been through with other people in order to help someone else out, or you can just help someone else out. You never know what someone is going through, and your testimony or your breakthrough or whatever it is can be somebody else's, you know what I'm saying? So today I just want to sit down based on the title. You guys probably like, she hates herself? She hates her skin tone? No. But I can say that at a point of time in my life when I was younger, I was not a big fan of my skin tone. So we are going to sit here and talk about just the way that people feel about their skin tone and what people do if they feel a certain way about their skin tone or whatever it is. So I'm going to just start off with me, and I'm going to just rewind a few years to when I was in like elementary school. So you guys know, like, kids can be cruel sometimes, and sometimes it's unintentionally or sometimes it is intentional or whatever. And it's really like, you know, words do hurt. Like, people's words hurt more than people do realize or think that it does, okay? And as a child, it hurts 10 times more than it hurts as an adult, or whatever the case is. It does. So as a child growing up, you know, I was never, like, younger, I never really had an issue with my skin tone until I started going to school. So at that time when I was in elementary school, it's about to sound like I'm old, but y'all, I'm only 22, but it's just really, I have to say like that because that's the way it is, you know. But when I was growing up in elementary school, dark skins were not praised as much as dark skins are praised today. Not even when big, you know what I'm saying? Like, people didn't just go out and say, well, I want a dark skin, I want somebody with hella melanin, okay? Nobody just, you know, chose a dark skin out of a crowd of light skins, or, you know what I'm saying? So elementary school was when I started to feel some type of way about my skin tone, and I started to, you know, to not appreciate my color and not appreciate the deepness of my melanin and the tone and the chocolateness of my chocolate, okay? I definitely was not a big fan of you know, the color I was given by God. And that was mainly because, okay, you know, when I was in school, I was like, always, I felt like of course they, okay, let me tell y'all, when somebody's going through something that may seem, you know, small or not relevant or not important to somebody else, is totally different from the person that is going through the certain thing. It's like, let's say if one person was really talking about me, in reality, let's say if in reality one person is talking about me or my color, in my mind and in my head, I saw 5-10 kids talking and laughing at me. You know, I didn't see just the one, and that's what made the effect even harder on me, or whoever it, you know, whoever goes through this too. So yeah, so I remember there would be times where, you know, stupid little corny jokes where, let's say if the lights closed or if it's dark in a room and you're trying to take a picture, group picture, you know, class or whatever, and there'll be like a stupid little kid who would go, "It's too dark in here, we won't be able to see such and such or such and such, where are you, blah blah blah," and it's like, shut up, you know, like I would just sit there and I'm like, And then there's always times where people would do those little things when they try to see who's lighter than who. I never really joined into that because I was in the back like, man, I know I'm dark. Like, I'm not even about to get up in that, okay? So they would, you know how when you check to see who's lighter by looking at your, over here. And I would just be in the corner like, I'm gonna wait till y'all done because this ain't my game. And I know I'm not the darkest person on earth, but it still was an effect on me because I felt like people made me seem like I was the darkest person. I do feel like I was one of the darkest people everywhere, like in elementary school, most everywhere. I felt like I was always the darkest person, either in my class or on my friends or whatever the case was, yeah, so I even remember like in picture days or whatever, when we take pictures and I would just be so dark in the picture and it would just be like a whole disaster. I didn't even want to see the picture or whatever. Yeah, so and I would just like go home and just be really sad about it, and it would just like really mess with my mind. And just to fast forward to middle school, I was still going through the same situation because I felt like when it's it's summertime or whatever, and you come back and you just come back darker than you were, and whoever was lighter just came back with a nice golden tan, and whoever was darker just came back looking like charcoal or whatever the case was, okay? So I came back looking like charcoal, okay, because I was in the sun. So now it was like, we're getting older, people are realizing this more and stuff like that. People are saying meaner things, and it's things that are hurting me or whatever. So I was just like, I would like put on a exterior face for everybody to see that I was cool or whatever. Not that I was cool, but like that I was okay with all of this going on and it didn't affect me. But inside I was really, really sad, and as a kid or a teenager, it just really messes with your mind, So what I did, and when somebody doesn't like something, they try their hardest to change or improve whatever it is that they do not like. And in my case, what I did, and I really don't want to say this to you guys, but if I'm going to come over here and talk to you about this, I might as well be straightforward and honest with you guys. So me not liking my skin tone because I was like teased and stuff about it, I can laugh about it now because it's been so many years and I'm nowhere near that state of mind anymore. By the grace of God, I'm nowhere near that state of mind, and I'm out of it. But back when I was in it, I was not able to laugh about it. But anyways, so what I did was I would take my little behinds and I would go to the beauty supply store, and I always chose a certain time to go because I chose a time where there was nobody or not too much people that was going in, and that was either early in the morning before school or like maybe like evening before the store was gonna close. And I would go in the store, I would go pick up something else that had nothing to do with what I was gonna purchase so I can hide it behind it, pick it up, then I'll go to the section with the face creams and I would pick up a skin lightening cream. And I was ashamed of doing this because you don't want nobody to know that you're bleaching your skin. You don't want nobody to know that you don't like your skin tone. You don't want nobody to know that you're trying to change yourself. You're trying to change who God made you, how God made you as. So I went and I picked up the bleaching cream. Now I'd hide it behind my other product like this. Now I walk up to the register, and if somebody else was there, I would just like walk around until they were gone, and then I would just like go and drop it in front of the cashier and just like hope he like bags it up fast. So once he bags it up, I go put it in my bag and I go home. Now nobody in my family knew I did this because I did not want nobody to know. Like even barely none of my friends except for a few or one knows that I did this, and it's not something that I'll just openly talk about because I was ashamed. I was ashamed then and I'm ashamed now. Well, I don't do it now, but I'm just saying. So I would go home and I would go in the bathroom and I would put it on 2 times a day, and you know, hide it when I'm done and keep it moving. And now with the thing with the skin lightening cream is it works darn fast. Okay, you put it on and next thing you know, you Michael Jackson color in the morning. It's like, nah, but it works pretty fast though. So like, it was an unrealistic change in your skin tone that people can see, but they don't want to say nothing because, you know, that type of stuff. So my skin was getting lighter, not like light as hell, like to be honest it was like one small shade, but that one small shade made me that much happier at that time. So I put it like, you know, on my face, my neck, and my stomach and body and stuff like that, and I saw improvements. And sad enough, like I was getting happy by myself, because I'm like, if I do this, people won't talk about me. And you know, like it just a lesson that I learned is that no matter how much you try to change yourself, there will always still be people who see the real you, and there will always still be people who still talk about you and still do things that you didn't want them to do before you changed yourself. So that's why it's always important for you to remain who you are and love yourself. Anyways, so I would do that. And then one day my oldest sister would be like, you know, her loud mouth would be like, oh, you're getting lighter, you know, in front of my mom and stuff. And I'm like, girl, stop. Girl, I'm just taking showers now, just washing myself up, you know, scrub, dub. Like, I'm just, you know, doing showers. So I used to try to use the shower excuse all the time and stuff like that, and I didn't want nobody to know. So boom, that was it. And then I remember, like, I think it was like 8th grade, I realized that like that skin lightening cream, like if you stop using it, it'll make you darker than you were before. And I would stop at a certain point because I didn't want to get lights or whatever, so I would stop, and next thing you know, after a few months, my booty was black again. And so I was salty as hell. So I'm like, bruh, I have to stop, because now I'm getting darker than I was before. I'm gonna get teased, blah 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 blah. So after 8th grade, summer came before I was going into high school, and I don't know what it was, but I just started, I had a whole new mindset. You know, I was, even after all the tears that I cried and stuff like that, after everything I prayed and I just asked God, like, just help me to love the skin tone that I'm in and stuff like that. After all of that, I finally grew the balls, the kahunas, the courage to just love my skin tone and love my darkness for what it is. So high school comes, and I'm just like a whole new person. Like, I love myself, I love me, and I didn't care about anybody or what they had to say. Okay, like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I just loved my chocolate. And of course there were always people who still spoke about it, but it did not bother me as much, and I felt that I was really starting to really love my color as I should have been in the beginning. So yeah, so that happened, and we're gonna fast forward to where I'm at today. And I just want to say that sometimes, you know, you may have friends, you may have sisters or siblings and stuff like that, and you do not know what they're going through unless they tell you. Sometimes there's people like me or other people who put up a front, sometimes not purposely, sometimes purposely, but just to cover all the pain that's behind that front and that exterior. You know, it's not the person's fault that they don't know what, you know, it's nobody's fault that nobody knew what I was going through. And I was in a terrible mindset back then, and I am just so happy that I'm not in it anymore. You know, I'm just so happy that I learned to love myself, to love my skin tone and my darkness and all of its glory. And you know, like, sometimes you just have to appreciate people, and I don't know what that was about, but yeah, you don't know what anybody's going through or anything. So for anybody who is going through something like this and who is dark skinned and just doesn't feel appreciated, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Okay, like, there are people who love you, there are people who appreciate the skin that you have. I remember, it's crazy because me and my friends went to Mexico not too long ago, and down there, like, people love, when I say love, they love black, brown, dark skinned girls. Okay? They appreciate dark skinned girls. It's like the darker you were, the more that they just, like, I don't know if they thought we were aliens or if they really did like us, but I think it was they like the truth. Okay? But no, they really did like appreciate who the skin tone that we had. And I'm just sitting there like, you see, like, people here in America take this skin tone for granted, but there's other people all around the world who's like, wow, your skin is amazing, you know? So it's like, don't be scared to show off the beauty of your skin tone. I remember also, like, if I would take a picture, I would try to lighten it up because I felt like it was too dark and I wanted to be a part of those, you know, light skin Instagram models and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And like, even in elementary school, it was like all the little light skin girls was the ones with the little boyfriends and the ones that the boys ran to, but the darker girls was considered ugly and didn't have anybody run into them, and that was what I felt, you know? So I'm at a place right now where you cannot tell me, boo-boo, you cannot tell me that this chocolate right here is not everything and more. You cannot tell me that this melanin does not stand out to you in a good way. You cannot tell me that I have to change myself in order to fit in order to be liked by anyone else. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell me any of that. I love and I appreciate my skin tone more and more each day, and I'm so happy that I am out of that state. So I just want to let you know that if you are going through something like this, you're not by yourself. You know, sometimes, like, also, just before I end off, one big thing was with colors and dark skins. It was always said that dark skins couldn't wear this color, dark skins can't wear this lipstick, dark skin cannot wear this hair color. Girl, as long as your roots are done right, you can do whatever color you want. As long as you got some lip liner around that lip, you can do whatever color you want. You do not let nobody stop you or tell you that you can't wear a color because you are dark. You know? Now, there are some colors that are wild, but it doesn't mean you can't wear it. It just means you have to find how to wear it and how to rock it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are beautiful. What they can do, you can do. You probably could do it better, but there's no shade, okay? But you can do everything that everybody else can do. Now, I just want to end off on a positive note. I want you all to just give yourself a big old hug for my people who feel this way. You're not alone. And God loves you. Seek out, reach out to God if you are in that type of mindset, because that's what I did. And to be honest, that's who helped me. That's who helped me get out of it. So if you have any questions or any concerns or anything that you would like to leave it down below. Spam my comments or whatever it is. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my video if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time in my next video. Bye, beauty.